We got Yi. Gold Yi game is a 40-minute doozy of a game. There's some backstory in the email. Okay, hold up. So been struggling a lot, climbing the point, D rank, gold 3, shot up gold 5, gold 2, a few days, took a week off now, making terrible calls and getting lost. I'm not going to pretend to know the optimal clear for Yi at this time, because I don't. And I don't like to bullshit my clients on this. It used to be you would kind of expect invades with Yi a lot. This time you get cheesed and you're red by the top laner. It's kind of a bizarre cheese, but it can happen, and you will get cheesed a lot as Yi because people know that you're going to be in the jungle and you're going to be super easy to kill. So let's look at how you opened. You went blue to wolves. So the way you went about this, you're looking at like some mid shit, which is fine. The first thing you really want to do is you would really like to get vision down. Obviously, your top laner is pinging that Jarvan's MIA. But you're kind of watching mid at the same time. I also don't like that you immediately like plant in like this, because there's times where the enemy jungler will be just waiting for you. So what's really nice to do for you is to, I personally like, this is why I don't like to fuck around early and get through my clear with the champion like Yi, is because you kind of show up late here and you lose a lot of info on what's going on. Because you're tunneled on it. You should be concerned about the Jarvan disappearing because he can cheese you sometimes at your red. And you should be concerned that Graves is going to show up sometimes too. You didn't actually put a ward down anywhere, so you don't even know that Graves is coming. And you path down because of that. So, if you had left the plant alone, put a ward down, checked, seen Jarvan, you could have very easily just queued Jarvan right out the gate and avoided some of that damage and then hit the plant and leave. I just think that you played this like you didn't anticipate that an invade would happen, and as a result, yeah, you just get picked off. So, all those things considered, you just didn't anticipate. That's it. You just didn't anticipate that this could happen, and you get a really gimped start. Now, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's quite enough about microphones and stuff. We're coaching somebody right now, not fixing the stream while we're live. So people extend pretty hard. Looks like you pick up a free one. I hate this though. Yeah, I hate that. So this is actually okay in my book. You path down towards bot lane and you go, okay, I can hit the plant. You hit the plant. You're kind of like shaky on the pathing itself. Like you half went in and then went out, but it's okay. I like this idea. My issue here, well, yeah, that's actually fine. I see what you tried to do. You tried to last at the kill. At this point, you should just be shoving the lane and backing and going back to farming. I would just tax all the lane XP because Yi actually benefits with that bit of XP. But flashing for that, it's like never happening there. You got basically view those early ganks as just like if they're pushed up to that extent and you can get a free one, take it. But you're not looking to just like 2-0 their bot lane. Just get the free overextended kill and get the fuck back to farming, okay? So you identify that blue is gonna spawn. You wait for it. I don't mind the wait. They also took your chickens. Like I said, we're kind of on a GIMP start, so it's whatever. Just be more cognizant of invade possibilities. Nothing for you to do top. Backing seems fine to me. Itemization. I would probably look if it were me. Cowcep's been really trying to make Yi work in Korea. I would really, in a tough time to make it work, I would really follow his itemization. If there was anybody that I would follow and people go, oh, Cowcep, he's not that good or not. Somebody who spends their job playing a champion, you should be itemizing like him because he's going to solve a lot of the problems that you're going to run into for you. Okay, what happened here? We hit level 6. I hate this, mainly because you're fucking around without flash, and you're already behind, and your red's up. So, like, you should be trying to secure your red buff, I think, more than anything right now. And trying to keep up and farm. You are, like, trying to do way too much from a GIMP start, where you should be just calmly going, okay, I'm behind. I need to get my XP up. And just take what's free. Taking that ward and threatening is fine, but then this is just stupid. You're pushing into Tribe Rush without your red buff. You don't have, like... these guys aren't poked down. You have no reason to be down here. This is just pointless. You should have your ass towards top side and beginning farm. And now you're going to lose your whole top jungle. And yeah, you lose your top side again because of that. The sad reality of Yi is he's very like one-dimensional. I learned that on the 100 Games to Diamond Yi challenge. And all I can really say about it is in that particular spot, just work off of your big cooldowns and work off of your pathing, your jungling. So like, if we don't have flash, red buff's up, just do the safe play. Just go and farm. Don't force it. Don't try to rush the game. Rushing the game is how you ensure a loss. Don't worry about your team pinging you. Don't worry about the rage of you dying early in the jungle. Don't worry about any of that. Focus on doing the right thing. The things that you know are right. You know that you can't push into try here and get anything done. You're behind. You don't have like any reliable kill secure going on down bot lane. You didn't even know where the jungler was, I'm pretty sure. So it's just silly pathing. Focus on getting your farm. Thanks, Chobo. Appreciate it. Did we just, like, luck into a kill here? What happened? Oh, okay. So Jarvan, and we kept our ult. Good job. Right back to farming, and you do that. You're level 9 here. We just killed Jarvan. The enemy team's posturing around Dragon. The way I view this situation is we're never getting Dragon, like, ever. I would really be interested in going towards topside now because we know that we're never getting, like, this is never going our way. Leona's just leaving base, Solution's chunked out, bot lane's pushing, mid lane's pushing. There's no way that we win this dragon. So instead of worrying about dragon, how about just clearing topside, waiting for Nasus to reset with teleport, and in the meantime, you could just clear everything out, maybe do Rift, and then maybe dive top if you need to. But this is just pointless running down to bot lane. Again, there's not a lot of fanciness with Yi. It's more of just like fundamentals. This is like textbook path towards topside because we know that we're never getting this. This dragon, we're never winning it. There's no fucking way. Look at their comp. Like, if we really stop and think about their comp for a second, how are we ever going to win a dragon in the spot? We have a Misfortune who's pushing a giant wave under tower. A Lucian that's 10% HP somehow. A Zyra who never cannot... She's like never not going to do damage. Right? It's just not happening. She's always going to do damage. Right? We have a Graves who, for all intents and purposes, might be somewhat of a squishy target, but either way, he's got a Vlad there too. Sustained damage between Zyra and Vladimir means that we're never winning that fight. The best that we can hope for is we sprint in with ult and take this dragon. So this is stupid, right? This is a stupid dragon to fight for. Your team's being stupid. You should know better than your team does, though. Like, if it's me, I go, yeah, right, and I walk over here and I get all these camps, and then I look to dive this Jarvan with Nasus. Try to ping for it. But let's see what you do. Jarvan even TP'd to it. And now we're just jerking off. We get nothing. We get no camps on top side from the enemy team. And look at this giant wave on top. Like, you could have potentially, when Nasus shows back up, you could have hopped the plant and killed this guy. If Nasus like re-TPs to top, you could dive him. There's a lot of things that you can do, not to mention the fact you would have taken all of top side and then potentially taken Rift if you'd wanted. Just don't worry about what your team's doing. Focus on the right call. Sometimes your team's right, but you got to know the difference between a good team call and a bad team call. All right, what happened here? You autoed the plant one time. I have no idea why when you committed to this, I feel like you really, if you were going to commit to anything, you probably want to commit to the Misfortune more than the Zyra. But either way, we're putting all our chips on something very risky here. Also, in that spot, you're better off just committing to autoing Misfortune and hoping for a trade. Trying to run out is, like, worst case. If it's me here... You're trying to... Let me watch this one more time. Let's plan this in our head, okay? No CC for Misfortune. Only CC is from Zyra. Zyra's CC is going to be an E. So if she misses the E, then we're pretty much golden. We can actually hold Alpha Strike a lot here. So you should have already been ulting from here, so you're in position faster. Where is my... Here it is. You should have ulted from Tribrush because you're committing to the fight already. So you can be in position for more auto attacks before they retreat to tower. Big Bad Cock, what a name. Thanks for the 2 months in a row. So you would have gotten a little bit more auto attacks before they retreat. The next thing I'm going to say is, let's think about what we can do to play this as perfectly as possible, just so you understand that as Yi, it's very important that you understand, like, what are we trying to avoid, okay? If you notice, what would have been the best move is if you had alpha'd to the Misfortune, or started autoing the Misfortune first, and then use the Alpha Strike to kind of manipulate this fight here when the Zyra peels back. But either way, getting knocked up is what fucks us. We really wanted to try to get to Misfortune so that we could like wiggle out of the knock-up and then go back in, but I'm nitpicking you really hard here. I think ultimately what this comes down to is like, if you had focused Misfortune and just challenge smited and went on her right away, Zyra wouldn't have been able to do much about it, and you probably could have bursted her down. And then, you know, Zyra's whatever. But Misfortune is going to do the most damage in this fight, like, every time. But it's a pretty deep dive. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we can nitpick on this mechanically. It's a pretty risky dive, and I don't know. Let's go back before it happened. We don't have red buff. And we're skipping red buff again, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Yeah, you're just trying to do too much, dude, from a deficit. Yeah. I'm sure there's like a super optimal way of playing that, but I think ultimately what it comes down to is that he probably shouldn't have been down there. He should just be clearing. You're just trying to do too much. You're just trying to do too much, making this... I mean, we're over here like, oh, if he had done, you know... Even I'm doing it right now. It's like, oh, if he had autoed Zyra and then queued Misfortune and then challenged Smite Misfortune and then queued just perfectly right as Zyra's ult gets ready to knock him up. Like, nah, dude, it's more of just like, we got invaded, we didn't expect it, we gave our second buff away, we gave our third buff away, we rotated to Dragon when it made no sense, the Dragon was already gone instead of taking topside. All we're doing, we're talking ourselves into a world where all those other mistakes, the way we come back is a bullshit, like, super sick outplay. Where, like, if we had just played properly and like made good choices, we never have to like make this super, we never have to theory craft this, because it's just what we should be focused on more is being like, okay, we got a Gimp start, let's get our farm so that we're not completely useless for the rest of the game. It's fun to go over it because there's not a lot of stuff that ye can do. In that, like, when you commit, you better do it right type of thing. But yeah. We can't give up, like, 3 red buffs. Red buffs. This is what we should have been doing before. Getting our farm and then trying to make a reasonable, rational stand. They get rift. You're still leaving camps up. Looking to dive. I like that. I like aggressive plays. But they know about you. Not bad. I like the dive on top side. But they had it warded. I also know that this is gold, so they normally don't rotate to it. Cool. You're getting pretty excited about Dragon, though, for some reason. You start farming that shit. Let's look at this. Blanc is dead. Or is LeBlanc... Yeah, LeBlanc's in base. Lucian's dead. Yeah, you're never winning this Dragon. Again, give up the Dragon and farm. All this is you are trying to offset a terrible start by throwing your face into a brick wall instead of just waiting, like, to build your own brick wall. Let the enemy team make mistakes. You made a mistake, now it's the enemy's responsibility to make a mistake, and you're playing on the defensive. You're on the back foot. You're playing like you have control of the game. You are never winning this. And if you do, I don't care because it's never winning you the game. If you just paffed and farmed and said that dragon's gone, would be 10 times better than whatever this is. So let's see what you do. Here we go. Even if we get it, don't matter. And you're thinking, oh, but it's an Infernal Drake. Don't give a fuck. Dragons are not worth... No, not at this level. It's worth you getting your farm and being stable. This is what you should have... You should already have cleared the entire jungle. You don't have ult, so I don't know where you're going. You might as well push bottom out. There you go. Keep going. You don't have ult anyways. Hey, that's dope. Dude, that was like really fucking good. Imagine if we didn't noob out and try to like save a sinking ship before focusing on getting our items in the first place. And just calmly picking smarter spots. Like, that was good. That's incredibly worth. There. Because not only do you 2v1 in that spot somehow, you also shove a wave under tower, and you buy your team a lot of time. So that's good. So you start clearing again. I don't know what you're doing. Here, it's just inefficient. Your ult's not up, so I don't know why you're hovering mid like you're going to do something. Instead, maybe go towards top, start pushing and look to dive somebody, or go towards bottom, start pushing and get ready to dive somebody. But running to your team in mid is kind of dumb to me because it doesn't do us any good. Pressure the map first. When you don't have your ult up, just pressure the map and avoid conflict until your ult's up. We're not pushing anything. We're not even trying to. Who can 1v1 us here? I don't think anybody can. In fact, you just 2v1'd a second ago, so why aren't you pressuring the map? You say, oh, well, they might do Baron. They might do Baron. At this point, in this point in time, I would risk them doing Baron and push. Push a side lane. I would risk them going for Baron. And let my Nasus and my fucking Leona hold it down if they do it. I would rather lose 1v1 than in a team fight. This is risky as fuck for a Yi player. I mean, just look at their comp, watch. It's gonna be hard as fuck. Dude, that shit happened like as fucking predicted, dude. Like just fucking murdered. You'd be better off pulling someone to you. I mean, just look at their comp, dude. Vlad ult, Jarvan ult. LeBlanc's a noob because it's a lowy low LeBlanc. Misfortune clicks on you. I mean, good God. That's pretty much game. Alright, let's summarize this. I'll summarize this before I shut it down. First things first. You're playing Master Yi, okay? There's certain junglers that when you play them, you anticipate getting fucked with early. Master Yi is one of those junglers. Like an Amumu would be one of those junglers. There's just fiddlesticks. You just anticipate that people are going to screw with you, because when people see Yi, they think weak early. They just say, I can kill this guy. If I catch him, I can kill him. I know I would think that as a top laner. If I'm playing like Tryndamere and I run down here with Flash Ignite, I'm thinking if I see this guy, he's fucking dead. Junglers think that too. Lee Sin will fuck with you a lot. Kha'Zix will fuck with you a lot. Rengar will fuck with you a lot. All these junglers love to fuck with Master Yi. So in the future, don't get caught up in all the bullshit that's happening around the map in mid lane, trying to sneak a lucky kill. Focus on clearing as quickly as possible and thinking about how can I die through the first clear. Because if there's anything you'll pick up with Yi, it's that once you get your items, once you hit your power spikes, you can fight anybody. So why would you try to delay that by doing derpy shit like chasing around some like low health targets and delaying your clear or not warding for the invades? The hard part is the early game of like getting through that, being weaker than the other champions. But once you hit 6 and you've cleared and I mean like cup stacking, that's the comparison to like fucking speed running. You should be very, very good at what you do by now. Otherwise, you're not gonna be efficient enough. So, after that happened, we lost red. We weren't aware where the second red was up. We lost that. We weren't aware where the third red was up. We lost that. And then when our team does dragon, you say, oh, we can contest the dragon instead of just clearing topside. For you, it wasn't about it wasn't about stabilizing the deficit. For you, it was like, well, we're behind, so let's try to fight anyways. Right? Instead of being like, okay, I need to farm, wait for a good window, someone getting out of line, someone fucking up, and then going ham. Like, it was more of just like, we're behind, let's fight anyways and hope it works. Their team fights better than ours, let's fight anyways and hope it works. Think outside of the box. It's one thing if you're ahead, yeah, hope it works when you're ahead, by all means. But when you're behind, you have to be thinking, I need to sneak farm and try to catch people doing things that they shouldn't be doing, like diving, and I'm like right behind a brush waiting for it. While you do your full clear, you sit in the bush for a minute and see if anybody's going to dive your mid or your top and maybe show up for a quick counter. Or, oh, they're doing dragon? Okay, I can sneak some farm on the top side and maybe get a nice free 2v1 under tower or something like that. Like you did later in the game. You eventually dove the guy. You see how easy it was with a good alpha strike. That's what you should be trying to do. Wait, like play on the back foot, and then once you start accumulating your catch-up, then there you go. Bam, it's like I'm back in the game now. I've waited for like 15 minutes. Now I can loosen up again. That's all it is. Overall, it was a good replay. I think that the portion where you 2v1 the Zyra MF was really good. So I'm not entirely sure why you would play. For me, I see it as like, oh my god, I can't believe we pulled this off. I need to do that again. So I'm gonna clear and then head towards the side lane and try to get somebody isolated and 1v1 them again, because that's gonna work for me. Everything else is dangerous proposition. Let risk it. You're already behind. Risk your team dying. Like risk that and focus on trying to get somebody ISO'd under the tower so you can kill them again and drag the game out, so your team has an opportunity to catch up from the giant misfortune. Okay, I hope this stuff helps you. YouTube, everybody, thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, etc. Sneeze, no bullshit gaming out. Peace. Cracks. Thanks so much. All right.